I am the co-director of Narrative Initiatives San Diego. And I would be remiss in not mentioning Jan Ewing, who I think some of you might know, who is my professor. We cry a lot in San Diego.
That's true.
She's a mentor. She's a dear friend. She's the reason that I'm in this field. I was watching Piper talk about the role that Marcy has played in your life, and Jan has played a similar role in mine. So she asked me to join her as a co-director after I was her trainee and associate, and I'm happy to kind of take up that role and support her and support the vision and continue to grow our community with the help of all these wonderful people that are here. And I think particularly because of our social context in San Diego being an international city, it's really important for us that we bring diversity to the narrative community in terms of ethnicity and race. And that means that it's really important to us that we have therapists of color. And as I look around, I don't see that many of us, and it's hard to tell visually, of course, but there's not as many representatives from other ethnic groups and racial groups. And that feels important for me to say that I invite all of us to be in that work together. And in San Diego in particular, it's been one of the things that we've held really close, that we would train students of color, and we would bring in different languages that reflect the clients that are consulting with us. I'll just share an anecdote from this past year, and I'll mention Jan again with this community that she's created, and she's done it in the most loving way possible. And she has a long history as a feminist, as a mom, and as a someone that has been important in her church community. And so community is really important, and she's kind of hand-selected people to be part of our community. But we had this experience in the past year where, despite the best of intentions and despite a constant vigilance around power and hierarchy, that we had a couple people that still felt marginalized and still felt oppressed. And we struggled as a community to support them and to have open conversations about it and use all the skills that we have as narrative therapists to bridge difference. And in the end, we realized that we had to allow them to move on into other spaces so that they could find the communities that would be right for them. But that was really hard for us. And so I guess I bring that anecdote forward. And I'm looking at Piper, who's nodding over there, because she and I had a conversation with Jeff and some others about the both and between intentions and effects. And I think there are ways in which sometimes we privilege one over the other. We privilege effects. But it's really important that we pay attention to our intentions and we reinforce them and we revisit them and we interrogate them. And it's also important that we pay attention to effects. And so I think that that's a continuing challenge. Our society is changing. We're in the most, maybe not the most, because many of you grew up in the 60s and 70s, but we are in a time where division is everywhere. It's reinforced all the time. And so I think that that's going to be a continuing challenge for us, not only at NISD, but I think as a narrative community and as a society at large, that we have to be paying attention to hierarchies and just unspoken things that get smuggled in unconsciously, and we just have to be in a place where we can have open conversations and learn from one another in a co-learning model. That's a word that I'm going to steal from Amy. Just that we can learn. And so that's humbling, and it's an opportunity as well.